that you will continue the business?
I never wanted to.
Laudomia Pucci is an image director and deputy chairman of a world-known brand Pucci, which is quite a synonym to the word luxury. Pucci is one of the few fashion houses that can boast a splendid history and tradition, at the same time being modern and contemporary. The Pucci phenomenon was recognized by the legendary Diana Vreeland, who after seeing Emilio Pucci's designs put him in touch with the right people. And the story of the grand fashion house has begun. Laudomia, with the pure aristocracy of her father, has started to work in a company at 23. Since then, she has managed to keep Pucci as one of the most famous and luxurious fashion houses in the world. We met Laudomia in a Pucci store in Milan a couple of hours before the show.
One of those lovely things of fashion that you never have the impression that you've got it. The moment you think that you can relax, you have to start up again. And a nice way of remembering it, it's through the fashion shows. You know, every season you have to start up again, start new. Challenges are new again. Across the board, if it's textiles, if it's colors, if it's prints, if it's the girl, the inspiration, hair, makeup, everything. And I think this process of starting up is so full of energy. It takes a lot of energy, but it gives energy, and I love that. I met Peter in 2005 or something like that, so a long, long time ago. He was still living in Florence, and I thought that he had an incredible talent and he wasn't probably discovered yet. And before we could put his hands on him, he already left Florence and went to Paris and so on. I think it was actually very good because he was able to take in a maturity that I think was also important. And then he arrived in 2008, as you know. His first show was a very good moment, I think. The energy of your first show was very, very good because it was young and it was a point of break. And you don't always have that in fashion shows. Sometimes when you become too comfortable, then it becomes too obvious. And I like that energy, and I told him this time. Peter is somebody who likes to be on top of a million details. He likes to control a lot, see a lot, question a lot.
Laudomia's great. You know, she's a little bit like a litmus test for me because she's she knows the history of the house so well, and I gauge her reaction to certain things, how I want to proceed with them as well. And sometimes that can be as well that maybe she finds it very unusual, and sometimes she loves something and I'm happy, and sometimes she doesn't love something, but maybe I'll still do it because I want to create a new story as well. But she's incredibly supportive, and I'm very lucky with that.
I see the collections in bits and pieces. I sort of always like to see where the prints come from, go to colors, color development, ideas. I sit with Peter, he tells me what's going in his mind. Then he says, oh no, Laudomia, anyhow, it's too early and I'll tell you later. And then you know, and then you see it sort of really, the show comes out of his hands in the very, very few last days. It's sort of a bit of the miracle of the last moment. And therefore you sort of see it in the last couple of days coming out. And then it just comes out so perfectly and so full of, I don't know, I just like the shows that Peter does. They're great. I'm curious about many things, not just creations of other companies. I think that, you know, you have to be well informed, you have to be curious, you have to try and understand new talent, see new talent when it comes. Not just for me, of course, but just understand what's going on. It's just like speaking to buyers, you know. Sometimes buyers look backwards, what they've sold they want to buy, but the clever buyers always buy what you don't expect they're going to buy. Or some concept stores, I know when they come in, I'm always sitting to see what they buy because they never get what you would think they would. And this is the kind of curiosity that I always need in our business. I'm very lucky because I know our brand very well. So it's easy to have my own judgment. But listen to other people's judgment is always very enriching. And you can always, you know, and for example, when I was with Peter in the archive the other day, and I was looking at some prints and saying, I think this could be really interesting for you. And he was looking at that print that for me was something and for him was something else. You know, and different opinions can come together in two ways and make it more creative. So I think you have to be able to understand other people's opinions. We are going to be rolling out the new concept throughout the various markets, and I think that's going to be very good. Our accessories and our new bags are doing very, very well, so we're very proud of that. I think, you know, it's just improving what we're doing well, doing it better, really. We're doing a new ad campaign, as you've probably seen, shot by Emmett and Marcus with Amber, and that's been extremely successful. So in the past year we've done a lot of changes, and we're going to see probably in the next 2-3 years that rolling out in a stronger manner, and I'm very confident, and probably a stronger range of Pucci too. We were one of the pioneers on Pucci.com. Many were already with accessories. We were probably one of the first ones with ready-to-wear, and we're experiencing that what we sell in our stores, we sell on the net, so it's exactly the same. It's growing in a healthy manner. We have some plans for that, but I'll tell you when they'll be right on the plate to be served. But we are ambitious about doing something beautiful with that too.
Just before the show, Laudomia greets each guest. She's a perfect host. In the fast pace of Milan Fashion Week, Pucci show gives a totally different impression. It is scheduled for the evening and happens in the beautiful Palazzo, which interior is resemblant to those we see in Florence, the Pucci's homeland. Tonight, Peter Dundas, the artistic director of the house, presents a fall-winter collection.
It was very balanced, as I probably said before, was these colors and prints that were very soft and very refreshing. It was very aggressive in terms of shapes and movement, but the way it came through was actually very feminine. So I like that contrast.
What is the reaction? What did people told you? They
lovely. They liked exactly going back. Texture, colors, detail, very Pucci.
Isn't it too stressful to have two shows, one by one?
No, because it's two different people. This is press and that is buyers, so you have different viewpoints.
And you can always understand how press reacted, how buyers reacted.
You tend to believe that there are some common lines, but of course press goes for the more extreme things. Sometimes customers go, but they also want to know where they can buy, and you know the show is the show, and then you have the showroom.
After the second show, do you finally feel relieved?
Yes, because I'm hungry. I'm definitely hungry now. No, but I'm happy. I think everybody liked it, and I'm very pleased.